we could talk all day about your life and your career, but I'm conscious of the fact that we haven't got hours and hours and hours. Can we go straight to your first goal for England and the Maracana? And what do you remember of that goal?
I can't really remember it, to be honest with you.
Really?
Look, and as much as I'm being a bit facetious, in reality, if you ask me, do I remember doing that? I don't remember it. When I see it, it's like having an out-of-body experience because, of course, I know I did it because I had those stupid tight shorts on and the stupid hair. But I don't. Every goal I've scored, if it's a free kick, for example, I'll remember because, you know, you put the ball down, you think, I want to bend the ball over the top of the wall into the goal. So therefore, when you do it, years later, weeks later, you remember doing it because you consciously thought about that. When you score a goal by dribbling, all you're doing is reacting to people in front of you. So I didn't think when I got the ball, I'm going to beat him, I'm going to beat him. All I did was react to people in front of me. So consequently, if you then said to me after, what did you do? I wouldn't have a clue. Obviously, once I saw it on television, it looked very good. But at the time, it was just me reacting. So I don't physically remember doing it. Like the goal I scored against Arsenal, which was a free kick, for example. So, but of course, it impacted on my life greatly because, you know, England's first victory in the Maracana, and it was a great goal, and it looked great. But unfortunately, I don't know if you remember this, though. No one actually saw that goal live. Anybody who said they saw that goal live is a liar. I'll tell you why, because the camera feed dropped, and the commentator described the goal because he said, because people in England, the screen went blank, and he just said, I've just seen one of the greatest goals ever. He described it. And then, of course, by the time the camera came back up 10 minutes later, they showed the goal then, but they never saw it live.
I'm sure when the commentator said, I've just seen one of the greatest goals I've ever seen, everybody back in England must have been thinking, well, it must have been a Brazilian who scored that, right?
Exactly. Once they heard it was me, they probably went, oh, yeah, sure, that's a good one.
but I mean, you're right. Brazil hadn't lost in that stadium for 27 years. And the Brazilians, the fans themselves, and they know a player when they see one, they even stood up and applauded.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, to play in the Maracana where Pelé scored all his goals is great. But the stadium itself, of course, for the World Cup 8 years ago, whenever it was, they rebuilt the stadium. The stadium was nearly falling down. It was half full. There still was like about 70,000 in, but it holds 200,000. So, you know, it's a half full stadium, half falling down. So it, you know, it's listen, I'm trying to talk it down here. Come on, help me.
Well, and not to talk the goal down either, but some of the defending was appalling, wasn't it?
Please allow me to do that. This is what I say. You don't do that because everyone says what a great goal it was. But I say, look, the Brazilians, it was the end of season. Nobody wanted to be there. They thought that they couldn't wait to go on holiday. And it was like one of those whereby Leandro was the first person I went by. And he was like, well, somebody's going to tackle him. You know what I mean? So by the time I got to junior, I went past Moser, who's an uncompromising defender, played in Portugal, who would attack me around my neck if it was a serious game. Okay. I think eventually they probably thought somebody's going to tackle him. I don't want to, if I could get injured, I'm going to go lie on the beach. So therefore, whatever happens, happens. So as you rightfully say, as much as I would rather me say it than you, it was woeful defending, yes.